Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hey folks, hey Adam, hey Kobe, hey Bill in Tuxedo. How are you folks doing? It's Saturday. Hot and sunny, 25C. Right now it says 66 out. What is the forecast? It says it'll be 80 today, all Fahrenheit. So, yeah. So we are going to be working on the Casadio Impr3za. And I said for part 1-ish because we kind of sort of started it with the last Charlie's Angels stream, working on doing some of the prints on the Stealthchanger. The PLA with PETG supports turned out absolutely fantastic. I'm so happy. That thing was a workhorse for this. I did not have a single problem with the tool changer. It worked perfect. Hey, Lord Gitface. Hey, Thomas. So, yeah, I am so happy with how it turned out. I even did. Now, I'm going to reprint these wheels because they need a little different settings. These are Prusament's Viva LeBrons, which is a bit of a silk. And I think it needed some drying and maybe some slightly different print settings. Instead of this, the next thing I'm gonna try though is the Protopasta gold. I think it's going to be a better Subaru gold wheel match. If you look at those, very close, but I think this is gonna be nicer. So, hey buddy. Hey Stuart. Hey Joel. But I have not printed those yet. I figure that we will probably get through. I'm hoping we'll get through or done or well into the chassis assembly. So I did print a tire yesterday. Finally got to this. A little fuzzy on the inside, but the outside is absolutely fantastic. This is Soraya Tech TPU Air. I had all kinds of trouble printing this. Which is why why I only have one printed. I tried on my Mark IV, my Mark 4S, and it just immediately wrapped this filament around the extruder gear. And I know I had printed one of these. I printed a tire for the Sakura in TPU Air on the Mark 4S, but I just must have gotten lucky. So then I switched over to the solid fork because I have a Viva Roto Vitamins set up on that, and I just wanted to see how it would do. It didn't. It wrapped the filament up inside the extruder. I pulled, so the stealth burner on that, no, dragon burner on that is about this long, right? So filament entry to nozzle end. I pulled this much filament out of it. It wrapped up so much in there. So what I did is I did a search and was directed to a mod for the Nextruder that severely restricts the, I'll show you a picture. Probably easiest to show you a picture on the picture of the phone. Here is the Nextruder with the filament wrapped up in there. That's the TPU Air wrapped up and bunched up, right? So that's no bueno, but that's a good reference point because I've got another picture of the same angle. It's not quite as bright, but you can see here, see that that's a printed part in there that restricts the filament path. And I've got the second one going and it's been going fine. No problems. So, hey Brent. So yeah, very happy with how this has turned out. Like I said, a little fuzzy, a couple of spots grabbed on the build plate. I'll try some other methods of getting it off because it sticks really good to that textured build plate. But the side you're going to see, it's fantastic. And I figure we can do a little test here. Does, okay, I guess that goes there like that. Am I correct? Yep. Yeah. We'll see how that does when it's all said and done. See how it actually works. It looks good. It looks really good. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Okay, let's get this guy off my back. Oh yeah, you're there. You want some treats? Do you want some treats? Of course you do. Oh yeah. Oh, you dropped it. Yeah, and that's a puck of support in there. I'm gonna try tree supports on the next ones I print of those. I love how he goes up and grabs it. I have used the print setting from the guide. We'll go over all that stuff here in a second, as soon as we bribe the master into going and relaxing. Print settings for the tires. I believe. We'll check. I did, I think it's 2 perimeters and then a low gyroid infill is what I did. I don't know if that's exactly what they recommended, but it feels really good. So, yeah, it feels really good. Okay. So here. So link is in the description. This is the Cults 3D page for the Impr3za. It is a $51.33 model. I bought this. Let me see when I bought this. I'm curious. Let's see. File update. File update. One thing is that the author, Casadio here, has done a fantastic job of updating this over the while. There was actually an update in at the end of May that I ended up reprinting a bunch of parts because they made a stronger drivetrain. So I paid 25 euros for it in October of 2024. So almost 2 years ago. But still, I believe, so that's what, $30, $32, $34 US. So I think the file's at $51. I think there's so much into this. I would not say that that's not worth it. Okay, if you go to the Cults 3D page, hey, another CG, welcome. If you go to the Cults 3D page and scroll down, there is be sure to check out the build guide here. So we're going to go to the build guide. Thanks for being a member, another CG. So this is the build guide. It's done in Google Slides, which works out well. They say it's 7.4 scale. I'm hoping that this is basically, and I guess I could take a wheel. Let me see what the wheel size is like with tire to the Impr3za or the Sakura. It is slightly taller. So it is slightly taller. So that would align with it being a little bigger. Hey, Andrew. Okay, I'm gonna sit for a bit. Let's see. So 7.4 scale. It is 4-wheel drive. This is all-wheel drive, the appropriate use of the term. Hey, TJ. Okay, so then the next page, This guide contains 527 pages of detailed instructions. Has a working all-wheel drive powertrain with open differentials, automatic release system for the front axle, and 3D printed shocks. I am not going to be using 3D printed shocks. One of the updates that the author has come out with over the time has been a option for oil-filled shocks. So I have all that. So, go here. This is the author or the designer. They are working on a new project, which is what is the, I don't remember if anybody knows. They're working on a new project. Another European rally car that looks pretty good. Parts list. So there is a non-printed parts list that you can open. And this is all the fasteners. M2x30 is kind of an interesting one. M2x25. Why don't I don't remember having M2x25. We will be, that might be an we'll see. I hope not. Bearings, springs. The same springs are used for the printed shocks or the oil-filled shocks. There's a little printed adapter for the oil-filled ones. Uses a C3530. However, there are options for bigger motors for this. I'm not of the opinion that these need to be as powerful as possible, and I think they're more fun at more scale speeds. So I'm sticking with the recommended motor and speed control. Yeah, all the other stuff. Build kits. You can get build kits for this out at rcprinter.com. And it looks like modelfixings.co.uk. Bunch of optional parts. These are the bigger motors, and then these are the oil-filled shocks. I need to stop by my local hobby shop and get some appropriately weighted oil for those, because everything I have is for 10th scale buggy stuff, and that's way too light. This. And filaments. Anyway. Lots of screws. I am breaking out the DeWalt for this. We'll see how this goes. But since my ES15 doesn't have enough torque, I'm sure, for some of these, because you're driving 30mm screws fully into plastic. I don't think the ES15 is going to even begin to work for that. But it also doesn't work. It just stopped working. So, changelog. So this is a good example of things that have been changed. There was a May update that updated the fit of the differentials, the more of the drive gear. This is the one-way bearing housing for the front differential or the front drive line. You'd have to print them laying down on the bed with support so the layer lines are perpendicular to the oil pressure force. There's no oil in the 3D printed ones. That was my problem with it. They're springs. They're not shocks. They're springs. And they use the friction of the printed part, I think, as some level of damping. Hey, Collie, I still have the Hodo. I really like this. This is my favorite automatic screwdriver. I don't think you can buy this one anymore. I went searching for it. I don't think you can buy it. It's the 8-volt DeWalt. It's the gyro one, but it has a ton of control. It works really well. Here is, they updated the drive line to be a little shorter to fit stuff. A couple of housing updates. You know, there's quite a bit. I mean, if we keep going through here, these are all the updates in that May. I printed these. It says in TPU. I printed everything but the little one-way clutch. I printed them all in Soriatech 64D CPU, and I printed the one-way clutch in Polymaker 85, 95 ATPU. Bunch of these parts were made stronger. You know, all these, I mean, there's quite a bit. This was the May update. Those are all things that I reprinted. All the little TPU bushings and stuff. There is a locked diff option I'm not running. I'll be running open diffs and then the one-way bearing in the front. This is the locked clutch. Anyway, and then there's, I mean, previous to this were updates to various things. This is when they updated the shocks and stuff. Anyway, go back here. And then, so that's the update list. This is, where was the printed parts list? Where's the printed? Oh, printing matrix. Here we go. So there's a printing matrix here. This is fantastic. I wish 3D Sets did this, because this is absolutely everything you need to know about colors, about print settings. It's really good. So like the differential gears, layer height, 30 walls basically to make them all perimeters. I don't know why he puts infill at that point, because there's no infill. No supports, no extra brims, anything like that, skirts. And you can keep going through. They say an outer brim. I didn't run brim. I don't run brims typically. Unless I have a problem, I don't run a brim. So this is all, I think, yeah, PLA. They say what material to use. And this is getting into a different color. So color group 2. So the housings, and this is more traditional 3-line gyroid 20%. I run cubic. But I did run this with the PETG supports. I ran all of these parts with PETG supports all the way through. But you keep going. This is all this stuff. And then it goes into a TPU or color group 2. So I ran these in TPU, aside from the 64D TPU, and then I separated out the little one-way clutch for a softer TPU. Another color group. This is a little stand that we're going to build the drivetrain on. Just all kinds of fun stuff. This is the printed shocks. There's the shafts for the printed shocks. They are printed down. All the bushings. I have not printed the brakes, but I don't know that we'll get that far. Anyway, printing matrix is really good. Really good. Then there's this is where you make a choice on what motor you're going to be using. It'll depend on what group of transmission housing parts that you're printing. Hey Raj, hey TJ. So GR2 is the 3530 motor. That's this guy. And I ended up buying the one that's listed in the guide. I had bought my normal little turbo motor, but it's not quite the same. It's a 3-bolt flange, which Casadio was kind enough to send me the step file for the piece that bolts here, so I could change it to 3-bolt. So I'll probably use that other motor for the next model that he comes out with. But yeah, this is the motor. Now there is a difference. Now I'm not exactly sure. This is a C3530, and the other motors, most of the motors you find on like Amazon are D3530. Now the only difference I've found that I could, comparing the two I got, is the diameter of the output shaft is larger on the D. So otherwise it works the same way. It's coming out the same side. So you're waiting on him to send you that piece. If you DM me West Side Fire, I can send that to you. If you look here also, if you look here, I did a search for Impr3za with a 3 instead of the E. There is someone that put, I think this is the piece, the 3-hole motor pinion flange. If you search on Cults 3D, you can find this piece. I don't know if it's correct. I just noticed it when I was searching to bring up this stream. But you might want to look at that. But also, if you DM me on Discord, I can send you the file that he sent me. I just got it the other day. It's about 50 mils back, yeah. Okay, so let's see what's next. Diff assembly. Okay, we're gonna get right into the diff assembly. Now you're gonna have to bear with me. I'm gonna have to find parts as we go through here. So you get to watch me find parts. So we're gonna need one of these and some of the smaller gears. So let's just get this over here. We're gonna need this thing. These are the shocks I got. Pulled one out to kind of check it out. I printed all the little bushings in 64D, but then I also printed them out in the 95A, which I think is going to be the way I want to go. And there's that little one-way clutch, and it is way softer because I printed it in 64D as well. It's way too stiff to work. I think it'll actually work in the softer TPU. So I don't think I'll end up using these bushings, because one of the cool ideas that Casadio has on this is you adjust the play in your joints by tightening the screws that hold the bushings and the arms in place. I think it'll work pretty well. Oh, I did print the seats. Don't those look so good? I might reprint them just to clean that up, but I doubt you'll even be able to see it. Just the texture and the color is like perfect. This is Polyterra Army Red. I don't know if it's available anymore. It's an old roll I have based on the Polyterra labeling. That's the shock, and those springs won't be on there. Okay, so we're gonna need these guys. So I think we're gonna want to grab all of these and these little gears. I did print a TPU front bumper out of the 64D. I printed a few extra things. Here's the 64D, and that I am pushing on that pretty hard. I mean, you can see my finger. I am pushing on that really hard, whereas this big difference. Big difference. Okay, these are little shock adapters for the other springs. Oh, I'm gonna need these. Those are the centers for the planetary gears. Is that what they are? I think so. Not sure. Need a couple of those. Okay, I've got 6 of those. 1, 2, I need 1 more of these because I'm not sure if we'll be building both, but I might as well get it somewhat organized. There it is. Okay. Yeah, it is. That is really stiff. As soon as I felt that coming off the plate, I said, nope, that won't work. Okay, let's move that way. That way. Oh, I had told you about this was one of my Japan takeaways. But let's put this thing out here. Here we are. This is what we're building today. This is what we're building. basically. Just set that right there. Let me get this over here closer. Oops, he's not there anymore. There. Okay. Oh yeah, we are going to be using a lot of grease, and I think I'm going to use the stuff that's been coming with the Prusas, because I got a lot of it, and they're nice little thing of grease. I think I'm going to use this stuff. Lubricant. If you watch the videos, because Casadio has done some videos on building these, he puts copious amounts of matte army red. Oh, okay. That's good to know. It's a nice red. It's a fantastic red. He puts copious amounts of grease on all the parts. Okay. So we are going to put any generic grease for mechanical application is okay. Pay attention to PTF grease. I don't know what the comment here is. Does anybody know? Some countries already started banning it as PTFE grease is bad, or I don't understand what he's talking about there. Okay, so we are going to take one of these. Oh, and I printed, I need to put that in the description. I missed this filament. This is Fiberon PETG, and this stuff is super strong. Really great layer adhesion is why I chose that filament. It's low warp, low shrink, super high layer adhesion filament. So we'll see if the glass fiber part bites me or not. So we're going to take one of these. It's through here. And that's a little bit of a loose fit. I know I guess I didn't print one of these. I didn't print one of these for the GF, but whatever. I think it'll be okay. Oh yeah, that fits nicely right there. So that'll be fine. And then the same, put some grease in there on that piece. Try to avoid a bunch of grease on myself. Zombie, welcome. How you doing? Okay. Oh, I did not grab. There's this side. There's one of them. Get another one. That's not it. There's the other one. Okay. Same thing. Same thing. Bearing. Yeah, that's a nice fit in there. So I'm comfortable with that. If one side is a little loose, I'm comfortable with one side being tight. You can start some cyber brick builds. What are cyber brick? Go. Get the Oscar hair out of there. A little extra fiber. Oh, where's my paper towels? Tank and a crane going to be a display for 3D Printopia. Nice. We are actually expecting to have a booth. We're on booth at 3D Printopia. It'll be a small booth. It won't be our full are full blown, but we will have a presence there. Okay, so those two. And then these little bearings, which are right here. So we have M3x8. Okay, M3x8. 3x8, these, and the bearings. And it says, don't panic if the holes feel too big. It's normal. Okay, so just dive into my some recycle screws here. That's fine. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 6 of those. Here's where we really press in. Yeah, I mean, I admit that I did not do the calibration print for the PET. I don't remember why. Okay. Now, we're going to take these itty bitty bearings. I need 3 of these. These are going to go in here, and I'm just checking all these to make sure there aren't any big boogers of plastic. These are nicely pressed in, so it's only those ones that were, or at least seems to be so far. Let's see. Yeah, those press in nicely. Using for the moving parts. So I've got a variety of materials here. Some of the parts, like these axles, I may reprint in the PET, but these are Prusament Galaxy Black PLA. But the gears are PETGF, Fiberon PETGF. Okay, so now we're gonna go here and here. Thread these into here. Yeah, those are very loose. That didn't even thread in. Okay, we'll see. He says, don't panic in the hole if the holes feel too big. They definitely feel too big. I mean, I'm threading these in by finger. We shall see. Okay. We're going to install that assembly into the... They are captured in the part, yeah. And then we're going to get in 2x20s. This is where I start. Let's make sure that I didn't accidentally grab, yep, 20s. And 2x20s, holding all that together. So that is here. This assembly goes needs to, yeah, that goes down in there. Okay. Halfway. This guy goes on there. We should be able to turn this. Yep, that turns pretty good. So then M2x20s. So we're gonna start right off with this guy. I don't think I have shorter drivers for this. This is on max right now. We're going to turn this back. Let's turn this way back for now and see how that goes. not tightening them all yet. Let's go back to 1. Yep, there we go. Okay, so let's go to 2. Okay, I'm gonna leave that on 2. I'm gonna grab a regular driver, do the final tightening on this. Yep, that feels pretty good actually. Okay, and that turns. That turns by finger just fine, so feeling pretty good about that. There's one diff. Okay. Oops, that's not the one. Then another bearing on this side. And these parts. It's this. That'll be interesting. To hold the other side. Bearing. It makes a diff. Okay, so this guy is going on here, and that's just gonna rub on the, there's nothing stopping that from rubbing on the part. Maybe it sets down in a part and is forced. But that goes there, and more of these M2x20s. So I think this is my process here, because it's going to be a little less fiddly to get these started here. With the manual driver. Just to get these started. So a lot of these, I heard Taylor say something really apt, really correct. A lot of these screws are used as rebar. They're rebar screws. Hey, Brian. Okay, I'm gonna hold this like this and try this and see how it works out. Yeah, that's working out pretty well. Since these parts, I mean, you see the layer lines are across the part, they're very weak that way. So you run a screw through them and you've got some plastic rebar. Oh yeah, that clutch setting is perfect. The author, the designer, expects his next model, I don't remember what, let me see if I can find out real quick. I had it up on Facebook. Let me do a quick search. Yep, here it is. This is a teaser of the next model that he's doing. I don't remember what the car is. He had mentioned it. I hate Facebook. Finding stuff is usually such a pain. I was giving some teasers on on that a while back. Okay, so anyways, said within like 8 weeks having the next model out, which is cool. Okay, so, and then I think it's the other side. Now repeat for the other side. Okay. 1, 2. Hey, Andres. Hey, Fegley. Hey, David. Bearing on there. And these guys. Oh, yeah. Well, and this is Prusament Viva LeBrons, but I think, oh, and this is a TPU Air, Soraya Tech TPU Air tires, which turned out fantastic after I modified my neck extruder to be able to print it. But I'm going to try the wheels in Protopastas. One of Protopastas, I don't remember what they call their gold. I have it just on the counter over there. Because I need to reprint these anyway, because this silk filament probably need to be dried in a little different settings. Didn't turn out all that great. So I'm going to try it in that other filament anyway, because I think the gold is a little better. Okay, same thing. Hold this. Training lap, 39-degree heat. Ouch. I'm turning these like less than 1/8 of a turn to get them where I want them, so feeling pretty good, and that turns really nicely. There is some resistance, but it's not, and it doesn't feel loose. And Tommy Blaster, nice. Okay, so now we have these TPU. So these are 64D TPU cups, or which file is that? I think these are all the same. No, that one doesn't have an S on it. That one has an S on it. That one does. Let's see. That one does not. That one does. Oh, there's another one. This one does. Okay, so I have 4 of those. This makes sense. This makes sense. So I have 4 of the ones with an S on the side, and 2 of the ones. So this is going to be our main. This is going to be our main drive line ends going around here, and these are going to be our differential outputs going to the wheels. This is another in 2x20. Start these because that's a lot to thread through. Just till I feel it on the other side. Oops. I love the control with this driver. I've had this thing since before I've been streaming. Okay, so now this guy, I want these to be just a little further. Stick out just a little bit so I can feel where they go. Okay. Goes right there. This is going into TPU, so I'm not going to rely on the clutch. There we go. The fan tick screwdriver, I've seen those. I haven't tried one. Okay, diff assembly, and then the other side. Pay attention to the S mark, just that it has it. I think it's just to make sure you're grabbing the right ones. New model with a clutch on it. Oh, that's good. I think the clutch is really, really important for the stuff we do. Okay. This guy, it really doesn't matter. Just has to go right there. So letting those stick out just a little bit when you put them in, let you, because these are chamfered quite a bit. So let you get them set. Flexible coupler, a bit like an old. Well, a big thing about this is it's strong. The layer adhesion on these is really good. There we go. There's one diff. Okay, make sure that the output shafts are free to move. They are. Diff input. Okay, what piece is this? That's the question. Because I don't think it's one of these. This one has a much larger flange than these. So that's this guy. That's the diff input. Yep. Okay. Do I have multiple of those? No. Okay. There's the diff input and two bearings. Hey, Marcel. Go. Similar slidey fit. I think it's fine. And then that piece. So something my feedback so far is that it would be nice to be given a little more instruction on what is the name of this part. I'm fairly certain it's this one right here. That all matches. That matches on there. And that makes sense. And now we get into our 30s. Where's the 30? 30 millimeter. Need 4 of these. Most of the way, and they go in a little on their own. So that's good. Hey, Neil. There we go. So those 30 millimeter screws are going that far into it. Nope, that's a 20. That's a 20. Where'd the 30s go? There we go. I thought that seemed a little odd. Yeah, 30 millimeter screws going basically through the whole thing. Pick up another Prusa Mark 3S tonight after help with the printing load on the... Oh, nice. Okay, so that piece is done. Now we put this... Oh, this is the one-way clutch. That is... Where was that piece? There it is. This piece with the arrow. These are M2x16s. So I've got 16s right here. 3 of these. Just a double check. Make sure I labeled it right first time. Yep. Okay. These guys. I'm gonna go in here. Screw it here. Oh, those aren't actually threading in on these. Okay. So which one did we do? Check the bearing position. Okay. Yep, everything looks good. Check the arrow orientation. Yep. Now we've got the gearbox. So clutch orientation and that gear. So what is, that one's got 6. This guy? Yes. So that's that and the clutch. That's this guy. So we've got 6 outer holes, 4 inner. Now this is the 25mm screws. I don't know that I have those. Maybe I already had some. Maybe I didn't buy some because I already had them. I sure hope so. Nope, those are 20s. As long as I have her 20s. What are these? 20s. Okay. These are all 8s. These are 20s. Let's make sure these are actually 20s. I might be in trouble. Uh-oh. I thought I had double and triple checked my... Those are the springs. I thought I had double and triple checked my work. I can cut down some 30s. I'll cut down some 30s. That's what we'll do. We'll cut some 30s. Yep, we will just cut down some 30s. These M2 screws are not difficult to cut down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope I have enough to cut down. Let me check to make sure, see if I ordered them. Give me a minute to bring up my orders. Did anybody notice my shirt? My appropriate shirt for the day? Hey, Martin. Oh, crap. Hey, Wade. Okay, logged in. Let's see. Ordered a bunch of drivers. I ordered M2x12, M2x20, M2x8, 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 M2x20, M2x10, M2x16, and 30. I did not order 25s. I missed that one. Do I have? Here, let's see. 3D sets. Let's see if I would have them from the Sakura. Let's go to the Sakura and list of non-printable parts. No, you can't really get it here. It's kind of dumb. Non-printable parts you would think are screws, right? No, you got to go to the build guide. And then go, and here is a list of fasteners. Where was it? Ah, here they are. M2 by nothing. Nope. What about What was the other one? What was the one that used a lot more M2s? Let's try the... Because if I have them, they might be in a project box. Buggy and sports. The buggy. Let's just look here. This is actually the Sandy. I think the Sandy used a lot more M2s. Build guide. Here we go. M2 by 16 is the longest. Okay, I'll just cut them down. I don't think they'll be part of the Reaper, but we might as well check. We might as well check. Reaper. Because a lot of this stuff ends up getting left in project boxes, which would give me a hint on where to look if I have them. M2 by 16 is the longest. Okay, that was a good check, but that means that we just cut these down. So let me get a couple of nuts, M2 nuts. And we're just going to thread these in. 5 millimeters. Just do 2 of them just to help hold it. And we're going to thread it in more like 6 millimeters, depending on what cutter I end up finding to use. So we'll go right about there. It's about 5, almost 6 millimeters. So let's see what cutters I have that are going to be strong enough. These will be fine. Hold that other one because luckily it landed in a good spot. That cut pretty good. And it is about 1 millimeter, so that's about perfect. So doing 6 millimeters. I'll grab a file here real quick. This is going to be tedious, but that's what I get for forgetting it. Fine. And that's why we put the nut on there, so it can kind of reform the threads. There we go. Okay, so this, this guy. And then this goes there. Hey, Bob. How are you? This is going to be no torque. It's just threading into TPU. Well, that does feel like it's grabbing pretty good. Okay. Again. I made the mistake of not ordering 25 millimeter M2s for some reason. So we're measuring out 6 millimeters. We are cutting and filing There's another thing to sweep up. And one more. Death Valley made world record a few years back. Hey, Kyle. When will I be building the Hypernova printhead? That's a great question. I am planning on some mod series on the Gray Trident, and that is included in that. So probably end of July, early August. Do you have any changes planned or anything that I... Is that why you're asking? As I just made some better belt ties that use the maker beam nuts. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Not going to, since this is TPU that I'm threading in to, hopefully that tiny little bit, maybe I'll take a file to it. Sticking out just the tiniest little bit, maybe just the tiniest little bit long. Hey, Jeff. I'm sure that'll be fine. Andrew, Furry Supervisor Snack Fund. Thank you very much. They appreciate it. Although, to be honest, Felix is not treat motivated. Oscar is very treat motivated. He's up. He's in a spot. He's in a spot. But oh. Okay. So let me set these little nuts off to the side. That is that step. Little prolonged step to deal with my lack of ordering the right stuff. Pay attention to the clutch orientation. Yep, that's correct. Yep, that's all correct. Now we have the gearbox. So that part there. Option, oh, you can use 6 or 3 screws. Let's see where this part is. There it is. Okay. 6 has got to be better than 3, so we'll end up with 6 parts on here, screws on here, but this is by 20. I don't call it Death Valley for nothing. Yeah. That goes on here. Now, oh, those must thread in. Okay. Show. Yep, get these. Let's go 3 first, and then we'll do the other. Stick them out just a little bit. That helps to let them stick through a little bit, and that will let it catch on the counterbores there. Yeah. Yeah, I do not do well in heat. It means I live in the wrong spot, wrong place for it, but I run so hot. I'm the guy walking around Smurf in Manchester in a t-shirt the whole time. Okay, then 3 more. It is the gyro. Yeah, you turn. I'm already down to 2 bars though. Yeah, so we're gonna go more is better theory here and put all 6 screws in. It's got a trigger, and then you twist. I wonder if it works this way. Yep. Yep. Even works. It also has the handle, the pistol or the inline. I know. I noticed that it was discontinued when I was looking for drivers the other day. Okay. There's our little one-way clutch going to the front differential. Okay, and then another gearbox. So where's that part? It's got to be this guy right here. Yeah. Here, 2 bearings, and by 30s. Don't forget the bearings. This piece, 2 bearings. That goes onto there. Set it on the Bosch with the push to activate since I couldn't get the DeWalt. 30s. Ah, those push through. I think they're supposed to. What bits do you have for this quarter drive? Always looking for a good. It's something I bought off of Amazon. I have no idea. They're not a brand name. I just needed something. At one point, it's a little set of them. I don't know if you can glean anything from that, but if you can get anything from that, that's what I bought. If I had shorter, I wonder if I do have shorter. The Hodo, I don't know if it goes down to 1.5. Yeah. Okay, so don't want that to be all the way. 2 of these to be sticking out a little bit though. There we go. Sticking out a little bit, lining up here. These are a little long for this. I could definitely do with a much shorter bit. Yeah. Okay. Gearbox, bearing position. Yep. All looks good. Now we have one of the TPU cups. That's one of these guys. A little bit of stringiness inside there. Not a big deal. Yeah, and this, like I said before, this is 64D TPU. This is the last part that will break on this. If anything breaks, this is the last thing that'll break. M2x20s. And that is going into the part we just made. So that's going on to the end there. Before next session, I'll probably find another set of bits that are shorter. I think it'd be better. Plus, distributing the load across multiple tips. This one the coating is wearing off. So far, they're doing okay, but I don't really trust them. They're cheap. Okay, go. Since this is TPU, I'm not relying on the clutch. Stopping right when it hits the end. Then I'll finish it with the manual driver. I don't want to squish this and warp the part to where it doesn't fit the drive shaft here. That's what's going to go in there. Okay, so that's that. Talk for a walk. This heat being stubborn. Yeah. Okay, check again. This is very important. Very important, apparently. Okay, gearbox, M2x30 reinforcing screws into these drive shafts. Are these them? Don't know for sure. They've got to be. There are no others that it could be. There's a short version in here. Got to be those. So M2x30s, these are simply rebar to the ends of these guys, and they should be opposite. Yep. The counter bores are on opposite sides, as they should be. We will need 4 of these per, but we'll set one aside because we're not there yet. Question on PPS-CF. Planning on printing all functional parts of my Micron with it. Any suggestions, tips before I start? No, they've worked. The only things I've printed for, well, I printed most of my antithesis parts with it. I just sent it, just got a basic profile that produced some good prints and sent it for the rest of them. And they turned out fantastic. Now I didn't anneal them. I did not anneal them, but they printed fantastic. All right, thanks, Jeff. These are 4-inch long bit here. I want shorter. Maybe the same brand carries shorter as well. Okay, so those are appropriately reinforced. Now, I don't want to do it, but I'd be curious if we did a test between these two, how much stronger it is and where it breaks when it's got the reinforcing screws. And I know these are going to need to go here. Maybe it's not in the step yet, but since I've got everything right here, I'm going to put these in this one. Do a few test prints and nail them to work out shrinkage. What temps did you print them at? 340, because the hot end I was using, because that's when I had the Rapido Ace, would not go hotter, and like 90 bed. Now, I have the tube compact in that printer now, so I can go hotter, but I don't know. I think when I printed last, it was only still like 350 or 360. It wasn't really high. Okay, so those are both done. Have you done functional parts in PETGF? All of these parts are PETGF. These are Fiberon PETGF. These are all PETGF. Did I cap the flow rate? No, I mean, my profile, that's my faster printer, but it's still not what many would consider fast, or at least I don't run it fast. We're going to be playing with that printer on Wednesday. So I got the unicorn kit from LDO, and we're going to have Ref on as a guest, and we're going to play around with that kit and see what it's all about. And we're going to be giving away a couple of them. So, okay, now we have this piece, which is a couple of these guys. Yep. Let's grab all of these. Seems like I should have one more. Maybe that's this. This. Just get all these gear type pieces out of here. Because we will need them. Okay. So another couple N2 by 30s. Hopefully I don't run out of these since I cut some down. I will place an order after stream for more. 8x3, which is pretty low and slow. 8 cubic millimeters? Oh no. Oh no. Hold on. Let's see. let's just pull up this window, whatever. Here, let's just grab a new instance. Let's see. I'll show you what this is exactly. No, I don't do that. So we've got the Trident Gray with the. Do I have a tube compact? But I was using Rapido Ace PPS CF10 and that profile. So the filament profile, I was running at 335 and 90, 0.92 extrusion multiplier, but I was not, okay, I have it capped at 13. So I have it capped at 13, but my print settings were there. Capped at 13, but these print settings, and I think I was running about 8,000 excels max. External perimeters at 3,000. So you can pause and whatever on any of these settings if that helps. My PA is here, 0.03. Yeah. Yep. So anyway, okay. Back to here. We have two M2x30s threading one of these guys into the end there, one of the ends. Since that should slide through, I'm just forcing the matter. Go past. Past and into one end. Now, I probably would not run the driver this fast if this was PLA. The friction generated could weaken the threads. It may still do it here, but I think I'm okay. Just see if there's any play there. No, those are pretty solid, so I'll just leave it. Yeah, there's one. And a bearing. I don't know why we put the bearing on before we put number 2. Where's number 2? There's number 2. You can kind of see it there. Number 2. I'm not putting the bearing on yet. 2 M2x30s. Go. Okay. Now, if we took 2 of these, I'm just curious. If we took this one and put it there, that one and put it there, is there overlap? Yeah, there is a little bit of overlap. There's about that much overlap when those are in there. And then when this went into the end, there's a lot of overlap. Cool. Okay, so here, and then they have us putting a bearing on the end. And I'm sure this bearing's going to go right there. Okay, check the Mark II. Yep, that bearing went there. How'd I guess? I already did that. And then another one of these. This in. Okay. And then this is going to be a different number. So which one do we want? Aha. See, it's a little different. Okay, install the conical shaft in the gear. Where are these pieces? I do not see this piece. Install that. I don't see either of these pieces. I do not see either of these pieces. Where? I don't. So this is it. This is the piece that they're talking about. That was printed. Let's look at the print files. Let's look at the print files. Because this, I am guessing, was either, because look at this. You see these grooves here? You see 1, 2, and there 1, 2, 3. There's the 1, 2, 3. I wonder if, let's look at the print file, because that looks like that printed with that all in one piece. Yours looks like this too? It printed together? Let's see if that's a mistake. What? Here's a change log. Here's a printing matrix. So these are gonna be up here. Right here. So this is plate 3. This is print 3. So let's go. Yeah, that's fine. This is a. So print. This is individual parts. So let's go back to the STL files and print 3. Yeah. Yeah, see that? No supports. No supports. Let's split this to parts. Is that what I wanted? No, I wanted. Let's split this to objects. There we go. Yep. Oops. Oops. I didn't notice that. And that's a problem in the. Oh, that's interesting. Wonder why those are there. Those are left over. See, but that. No, it's against the build plate. I guess when I moved it out, it put it there. Okay. I'm not certain that this is going to be okay. I'm going to try cleaning that up and see what it looks like. And we can just... But I feel like I'm going to want to reprint this. because that's not going to be a good surface to bolt against. This is not a super long print. Let me get this set up to print. Let me get this set up to print. This is going to take about 5 minutes of me having to go to the other garage, because that's where all the stuff for this is and the print profile is. So I am going to ask you to talk amongst yourselves, and I will be back hopefully in fewer than 5 minutes with this print job going in the other garage. Yeah, I don't think I have any choice otherwise. Okay, I will be back. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. Is 5 minutes long gone? When did I say I was going to be gone? How long was that? Galileo parts, built a couple of tool heads for the trident. Think of millimeter plates for fun. Nice. It's not long gone. That might have been 6. 6 minutes maybe? Okay. So that is printing. It does say, because this is 30 perimeter, it's all perimeters. It's going to take an hour. So we'll see where we can get. We will see where we can get. Well, working multiples of 3. 6 minutes in. I should have said so. Okay, so this is the problem. These parts, I'll have to report that. I haven't seen anybody report that. I'll message Casadio and see what he thinks. I'm just not comfortable with bolting down onto that surface. So the next step then, because I think we can continue to work on stuff, is we want to check that all 3 notches are aligned. That's putting those screws in, and then that. So here, we'll put this onto the short. This gear is different on the GR2 transmission. We are using the GR2 transmission. We want the number 3. Here's the number 3. So 2 in 2x30s. I hope I have enough of these. How many did it call for? In 2x30s, we need 42. And I have this is a 50. I'm sure this is a 50 pack. and we've cut 4 of them. But we need 20 25s. I hope those are later in the build. Otherwise we might not get as far as I wanted to today. We'll see. Okay, so we got to put this guy onto the short drive shaft thingy. Oh, hey there, Inch Kid. Checking things. Okay. Guess that just goes right there. Okay. And a bearing. Open a new bag of these. Hey, Appsmanster. Did I say hi, Marcel, earlier? And Maurice? I don't remember. Okay, so that goes on the end there. And then there's a marked 1. That one goes on this other end. So that's marked 1. I don't know why he tells you to put those bearings on when you do. He did not, just hopped in late. Got it. So try to remember. Okay, so that goes there. Okay. Oh, there's a bearing. Bearing on either side. Getting our little collection of things. This one's incomplete for an hour. Can check, why am I not logged in? Come on. Log in. 2FA. Okay, now we can go to Prusa Connect and here, camera. It has not started printing yet. Okay. Next, bearings on both sides, and then we have a piece there. Pay attention to the part orientation. What piece is this? That must be this piece. Yes. The scale, and these are M2x6s. Oh, this is the piece that goes on the motor, I think. Hey, Matto. Was just explaining how he was going to take a nice drive to Bondtech to pick up his index stuff. Yeah, that does make me jealous. Congrats on that. Let us know what you think of the build. We will be doing one as soon as mine gets here. Okay, M6. 6mm. M2x6. These are just reinforcing screws. It says there. One, two, 3, 4. Let's go. I am very much looking forward to my Core 1 index build. Hopefully it'll be within the next couple of weeks. Ooh. Thin wall there. That actually bent. That is not okay. Ew. Let's see if I can. I might end up reprinting that piece. Just a reinforcing screw, so we'll see. We'll see what it looks like in the end. But none of the other ones did that. I let that one go too far. So I may end up reprinting that and swapping it out between streams, but for right now, that's probably okay. Okay, so now this goes onto the motor with the screws that apparently came in the motor box. So M2.5 screws. So this is my This is the model that is called out in the sourcing guide, and I did get it from AliExpress. There are, so those are not the screws that I would expect. They might be okay though. So this is very clearly socket head screws in the bomb. The motor came with all flathead screws. But looking at that down in there, it's hard to see, but those are chamfered. They are set up for the flathead screws. So I'm guessing, ew, Phillips. Well, it did come with some of these, but I'm guessing these are going to be way too long. And the heads are too big. The heads are too big on all of these. So those are not going to work. What am I going to do? Those are not correct. So this happens. The motor manufacturer probably changed what fasteners they included. So this goes on here. Those reinforcing screws drop into these spots. So that goes there. And I think that, I don't know how much that would actually help. Probably not, because that would have to break in order for that to stop there. But they at least just settle into there to get out of the way. Let me see what I have for 2.5s. I don't have much in my 2.5 collection. I might have a thing of them in here. Or I have a thing of 2.5s I haven't sorted yet. Hey, here we are. Okay. 2.5 by 6. I bet you that's about right. Awesome, Joel. Hey, Ella. Okay, what do we have here? Oh, these are all button head. Let's try these guys. Let's try these guys, see if they even fit in the piece. Aha, they do. They do. The head fits in there. See how far those stick out. Oh yeah, I think that'll be fine. That's enough threads. So be aware that the 2.5s that come in the motor may not be necessarily compatible. There's a little bit of wiggle there, so I'm going to get all of these in. Hopefully get them. Do you think it would though, Bill, save a bunch of money? Because generally, when you base a car purchase on wanting to save money on gas, the math doesn't add up. Okay, let me put these screws that came with the motor back. You could even use Uber for the amount you drive. Yeah, that would be a different calculation I haven't seen, but I have tried the what does it take to make it worth buying a new vehicle based on fuel economy versus using whatever you have. I don't think I need to reprint that one. There's nothing about that that's going to be in the way or cause any problems. And I think those are minimally effective as reinforcing screws in the first place for this part. So I think we're okay. I don't think I need to replace that. Okay. Now we have a piece that has 2 dots. It is possible that I used this on another piece. That is really a interesting. Okay. That's why there's a third one out on here. This would have been nice to call out earlier. We look at, come on, focus. There we are. That one does not have any dots here. That one does. It's kind of hard to see, but those are dots. That one clearly does not. So I don't think this was called out in the earlier step when we put those together. Let's see. Yeah, that was not called out. It just said use this. That probably should be called out because they look the same. They are very slightly different, and I can see that now. See that one is the one we want here. So let's take this one off, swap it. Oh, insurance is a good factor. If you can get rid of insurance, that calculation gets a whole lot better. Okay, so those are off. I'm just going to grab 2 new screws and put that here to replace this one. Yeah. Okay, that little mix-up corrected. Now we take this guy and get back to where we were. There we are. Check the 2 dots. Did. These guys go right there. Oh, are those? Oh, those are 25s. Okay. Those are not going to work. Let's pull these out. Bez, how you doing? Happy Saturday. Okay, let's get a couple of these and let's cut these down. I will need to buy. So this is 2 of the, or 6 of the 30s now. Spring cleaning. I've needed to do that for the last several springs. The last several springs. Okay, and one more. Filament, it isn't hoarding. Yeah, I need that shirt too. I'm in dire need of finishing my filament racks in the other garage, because that would save me so much space in general. Okay. Now, let's see something here. Would this have been? No, it's just too long. It would have driven into the aluminum. Oh well. Okay, so that's done. On the other side, we have the motor plate. M3x6. Now, is that actually flatheads? Where is here? M3x6. It just says M3x6. The picture would indicate flatheads. Are those M3s on this side? No, flathead. There we are. I just want to check the threads here. Yep. Yep, those are M3. Yep, M3x6 flatheads. So that's something that could be improved in this in the instructions here, is they don't specify the head type here. M3x6, this is flathead. Most of the mileage of my car seems to be towards my house. Yeah. Okay. And then motor wires come out from here. So come out from, this is not symmetric. So these are wider than these. So I'm gonna mount this to where this is right like this. I think that's the intent. One. Does it? Did it give a din? Where's the din number? Oh, din 912 with fine thread. Does that? And 3x6, din 912. No. If I don't think that's correct. Or he's not using it appropriately. Because these are flatheads. They're perfect for flatheads at 6 millimeters. I'm not sure that it would be as good using socket heads at 6 millimeter. That's a good call to look at the DIN specification, DIN cited, but I think it's incorrect, incorrectly applied. Not part of the BOM of the motor. It does not say to use the motor screws. The motor screws were the M2.5s. Okay, so that's there. And then a bearing on the end. Sure, put that there. And then this, install the motor cover. Nice. With M2x12s. So the motor cover is here. So motor cover. This goes like this. And goes on like that. And then that tucks into there. Okay. So 12s. Are they not part? Yeah, I don't. The motor had just the 2.5s. Okay, let's get that out. Let's get these started. I'll pull in there. Nice. Just do it by hand on these. For those of you, it's very applicable for everyone here. I've been getting messages from YouTube that they are changing the membership prices based on exchange rates. So just an FYI, I have not changed my, that one is not a good, that's a bad, the head on that is not good. I'm going to throw that screw away. YouTube has adjusted the membership prices based on region. So if you see a change in the price, it is not a result of something I did. I am keeping my base the regular membership at the $199 US, and will not be changing that. So just remembering that they've been notifying me that that's a change that they're implementing depending on region. So if you see that, it's not me. It's not every region. They have a list. Okay. Those in. Haha! We get to put stuff together. Wow. More stuff together. Okay, what is this piece? That is this guy. Okay, so this is one of those with the fantastic PETG supports. So that, and then the differential we built goes in here. There we go. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Hold the rollers and couple the subsystems, install the front drive system. Okay, this is kind of, this is something I should have played with earlier. So this is that one-way clutch, and this is where it meets. So this goes in here and goes here. Otherwise, it slips going the other direction. And apparently that helps in braking. But it locks going this way, and I can't force that past, so that'll be fine. This way it skips pretty easy. Nice. There's a bit of quite a backlash there, but I don't know that that matters. Okay, so that goes together, and then that goes into here. So this is going to split. So that cradles that little piece there, and the same thing on the back. So some of this stuff out of the way. So black PET GF available in 1 kilogram spools. They only have it is all of the stuff I'm using is off of 1 kilogram spools. Okay, so let's split those, split these. Maybe there we go. Now there's going to be some grease, copious amounts of grease. Hey, Tuxedo, did you see I don't know if you noted or saw, but we updated the manual with the frame callouts, not in exactly the format that you suggested, but I was curious if you thought that was adequate. I'm talking about the Trident R2 manual. We made some additions to clarify the extrusions and identify the extrusions. I even tagged you in Discord and said, hey, what do you think? Do you know if the BQ Glacier Pro plates can handle 110C? I get very confused with the BQ plates. They have Cryo Grip and Glacier, and I have no idea. I have one that I'm testing on the Core 1L, and I don't know. It's the orange plate. I don't know if that's Cryo Grip or Glacier or what. But I will say that I'm not a fan so far of their stuff with ABS or ASA. I was getting lifting on very small parts that I don't on other plates. Now, I may try some additive because I love the texture. the texture is fantastic. So it's worth it to me to try other things to make it work, but out of the box, not a big fan of it for ABS and ASA. Okay, that is in. And then I don't know why he suggests adding grease here. I don't know. It might be, this might not be Glacier. This might be Cryo Grip. It's in the other garage. I don't know why he says to put grease here. There's no contact there. Unless the expectation, especially with these being TPU, is that they could flex enough to rub on the outside under power. I had ABS pull chunks off my Glacier Pro. Yeah, I had the whatever this plate is, Cryo Grip or I think it's Cryo Grip. I'm not sure, but it pulled pieces off of here. These all have little spots where it pulled just tiny little bits. This was printed on that plate. Look at that texture. The texture is fantastic, but it pulled tiny little bits of the PLA here. It's stuck so well. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it right there. Just tiny little bits. Okay, grease. We are going to put some grease on this. Just gonna put it in each tooth here. Probably call that fine. And I'm gonna say, I would suggest for your builds, maybe put some grease here, but I'm gonna skip it. At least for now. If it looks like it's gonna cause a problem, then I'll revisit that. But I don't really see why we would be putting grease along here. They don't touch. Oh, I understood, Andrew, pulling chunks of the bed. But I transitioned into saying it does stick well. It was pulling chunks off of the prints, little tiny bits. But the biggest problem I have is they say don't clean it with IPA, don't clean it with most soaps, clean it with water only. How are you supposed to get that kind of stuff off? You end up with, over time, just ending up with remnants of prints on your plate. I like your Firethorn plate from Mandela. Wade, is this Wade from Mandela? I didn't, to be honest. It's way too sharp of a texture. You try to wipe it off and it just pulls my paper towel bits into it. Different Wade? Okay. It's too sharp of a texture. Okay, oh, I need to put some grease on that part. I forgot to put grease on this. Maybe I'll put just to follow somewhat, and I will just spread that around. maybe just so if it does rub, it's rubbing on a lubricated surface. You know what, Tuxedo? Internally, I was thinking that could be a reason. But to that degree, there's two trains of thought there. It can either trap. You can consider it's trapping dirt there, and it doesn't allow it to fall out. So then it just accumulates. So there's an argument to be said of whether it's good for that purpose or not. I'm gonna guess that if those flex at all, they're at least wiping against a lubricated surface, and leave it at that. Okay, now we get to grab another piece, and let's just go to the next. And we are going to do a bunch of M2x16s. So we get to put the top on. Woohoo! Yeah, that's so cool. Okay, where are we going? We are in by 16s. 16s. I haven't had to clean it for about a month now, though. Yeah, for the I don't tend to like that super rough texture, so okay. We're gonna go slow since this is all PLA. Why are you not actually threading in? There you go. Might have been pushing out a support. No inserts. I need to do a hex tray, you're right. No inserts. Am I missing something? Did I miss something? No, I don't think so. Inserts what? What do you mean inserts? Oh, heat set insert. No. Trying to go slow because this is going into PLA. They are pushing little bits of plastic through, so that wasn't support. That was just plastic being pushed through. I was printing another TPU Air tire. I just got a notice that a print job finished. And then I realized, oh, that's the Mark IV. That's the... These are machine screws. So the thing about proper plastic screws, if they're even available in this size, which they probably are, but the BOM cost would skyrocket in fasteners. These little machine screws are are cheap and available from many sources. Proper plastic screws, not so much. Yeah, those are all pushing the plastic through the other end. I've talked about adding heat sets to the build, but it doesn't have any. Right. There are probably some areas where, like these, since you may need to service the transmissions, it would not be a bad idea for these to have heat sets in them. It would take quite a bit of redesign to give proper clearances to put the heat set on the back and stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. Yeah, those are the last two. All right, see you, Marcel. Do not want these to strip. So that turns very freely. It's got plenty of grease there. Nemi, welcome. How are you? Reinforcing screws on top. M2x6. At these little guys. Let's go in right there. Do these by hand. Okay, maybe I won't do those by hand. Do too many of those and I'll just get sore. Almost all M2s, yep. Putting moderate pressure on that just to make sure it goes threads. There we go. Okay. Okay. Well, then we get to start placing the gears, at least until we run into that one that we wanted. So that's this guy. This guy goes in. There's a big side and a small side. So this guy goes in here. Oop, I don't want to touch that too much. The configuration of this drivetrain, this transmission, is really cool. As we get further along in it, you'll see. Lubricate step, RC only. And then the top will go on place. And then some 2x16s going from that side. Okay. So let's put some grease on this guy. The amount of different length screws is interesting. I'm sure there's a reason. So many of the longest screws are primarily used or have a dual purpose of acting as reinforcing screws. It's like rebar screws, as Taylor put it. And then I'm going to put just tiny bits on this one because it's already got grease on the other side. It's coated nicely, I think. Okay, and then we have this piece here and two M2x16. So this guy, goes on here like this. 2x16s going through here first. Go. Okay, what's next? And then 2x20s from the top. Let's go in here. Ooh, is that correct? Yeah, but those push in. There's only about 4 millimeters of thread there, so I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna hand drive these. There we go, and we stop as soon as it's tight. $16 there. What's the next step? Put the motor on and 2/16s there. Okay. 16 here. Okay. Hold this. Go. Then this guy. Surprised it doesn't have grease listed there, but we can grease it up after. This guy goes in right here. That is really close to touching on that guy, but it doesn't. Doesn't seem to anyway. Okay. Yeah. This driver is so good. Yeah. And that was 16s. 2/16s. It's just so much control. You wouldn't, I don't know, the gyro, I wouldn't have immediately thought that the gyro was so good, but it is. Okay. Oops. And then 2 and 2x12s going in there. Oh, shoot. Let's see if I can get this. Nope, that's coming out. The screw head is, oh shoot, come on. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing out of there, the screw head stripped. I need some of those screw head pliers. Engineer makes some nice ones. They've been on my list for a while. I've got just enough to get a hold of these. I think this is going to be a common thing, is running across the occasional screw that I need to just remember as soon as I feel it give, that screw's done. I can feel it when I'm driving it, even with the DeWalt driver. I can feel that first bump and then done. Pull it. Trash. 12. Go. Let's see how this is looking. Yeah, I think I'm done with that. I think it's done. Do I have I think I might have a 1/4" adapter in here. Yeah, I think this will work. Where is the 1.5? Is that this guy? Yeah, let's try my iFixit set. It doesn't lock in, but this will keep us going. That's going to be annoying, but there we go. Okay, that is on there. That is going to be, maybe I put a I can put a little piece of tape around that or something to hold that in. But this thing I think is done. I can kind of see it. I don't want to risk it. It's done. It did a few drivers, but it's a cheap set. Okay. That's that means we are, is the one that we had done, the one we did was 2. Okay. So this is 2, so we can put this one on. So this is kind of the cool thing about this transmission is there's one of these drives on either side. So it's splitting the load from the motor across 2 different, one goes over here, across 2 different drive shafts. This guy goes here, that guy goes there. Yeah. So that's there, and then we probably want some grease, I'm sure. Yep. Almost through one little thing of grease. Go. And then cover. Now these have changed since the instructions. They don't, this shows a opening, but the actual parts don't have an opening. So this guy is gonna go right on here. Check the arrow orientation. There's no arrow anymore. There's no arrow. But this does go on, and this is correct. That whole picture there, this hasn't been updated since a revision. Because see, there's a screw here on that, and there isn't on here. No screw here either. You can see those right here and here. So this just hasn't been updated. This one is updated. This is correct. So it looks like a bunch of 12s. So, bunch of 12s holding this whole thing together. That's going to get annoying quick. There we go. Wow, this is, I don't feel like we've lollygagged here, but I was not expecting to only be still on the front transmission. at the nearly 3-hour mark. Okay. I was honestly expecting to basically finish the drivetrain, but we're not going to be anywhere close to that. Okay, so that's that side. And now we've got some working. Okay, next. Now we got the other side. Now, this one is the one that we're waiting on the print. It is almost done. It's 85%. Let's play. All those perimeters. All the perimeters. What's this? Oh yeah. Hey, chromatic. So 86%, what is the dashboard? Does it give me, oh, remaining time is only, oh. Printing time, no, printing time hasn't been 17 minutes. It says remaining time is 5 minutes, so we'll see. Let's see where we can go next. Oops, I wanted here. Can we do anything? So if the shaft does not seat, keep the shaft pressed. Okay. I don't know. Haven't had any trouble with the others on that. What's next after this? Apply grease. A bunch of screws. Okay, so let's build the other diff while we're waiting. Let's build the rear diff. So same. We have this and one of these. This guy goes in here. This guy goes in here. Grease on here. Oops. Put it there. That goes in there. And then same thing here. Let's use every bit of this. Oop. Okay, well. All of that. Right there. You're right, Bob. That's the only reasonable path. bearings in. That is absolutely true. And then this guy and the Hey, bearded printer. Welcome. Okay, this goes down in there like that. This goes on there like that. And let's figure out what size screws these are. So I did that. Come on, why aren't you? We did this. I got it wrong. Out of Prusament, time to order more gummy bears. Good correction. And then these are by 20s. That's what I wanted to make sure. By 20s. 3 by 20s. 1, 2, and 3. Come on. Yeah, I need to pick up some new bits. Some new bits, or probably just new bits. And once again, this is back into PETGF, so I feel a little more comfortable going strong, faster. Turns just fine. Okay, apparently that's not going to scroll the pages anymore. So then we got one of these. These are by, oh, a bearing, and then these by 20, right? I did not anneal it because I'm not worried about temperature. I just wanted the layer adhesion properties. Okay, so that goes there. I don't think it's going to, if it's getting hot enough to where annealing it makes a difference, then all the PLA parts in the transmission are in trouble. I think the mechanical strength of the parts is far more important in this than the temperature resistance. Okay, so that's one side. Basically do the same thing to the other side. Welcome back, Tuxedo. See you, Bill. Hey, the print finished. Provider having DNS issues? Fun. Go. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. I remembered both bearings. And that runs really smooth. Okay. Did that. I repeat for the other side. Yep. Now we have the S. Make sure we have the S ones. More by 20s. Why do you keep flying out of there? I will have that fixed by next time. I don't know when. This is one of those builds that if I only do it once a month, we're going to be here until 2027. But I don't know. My July is rapidly filling up. We'll see. Just stay tuned. We're going to be doing this to both of these, so might as well get them both done. Both prepped. Ooh, that's the first one I felt get hot. The other ones they haven't been hot when they get to the end. Oops. Ah. That stupid thing. Okay. Hey, Sean. Start a new position with company. Huge change going from baking to work from home job. Manager, tech hub platforms. Awesome. Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay. On that side, same thing on the other side, and that diff assembly is done. Now we have the gearbox. Let me go get that other part, because we can finish putting the front together. Let me go get that other part. I will be right back. Okay, these parts are good. That's a little grooves there that need to line up with the grooves here for some reason. And that's so much better. So let's go back to that step. So we're on page 86. Let's go back. What was this? This guy. Here we are. So install the conical shaft in the gear. And then 2x30s. Okay. See you, Neil. See you tomorrow. Okay, so this guy and this. So, oops, that was not lined up. Okay. Just making sure that those are lined up. They're lined up now. They should mostly stay that way. Okay, so that's there. This is now going to go, oh, well, that's interesting. That's interesting. That doesn't really, let's make that stick out a little further. I don't think either of these, all these were the same, so should go like that. That is going to That is going to press that into here. I wonder why. I'm curious why this is designed like this. Oh, interesting. That can move now, even when that's tightened. Interesting. Huh. I wonder why. Is that because we have two different gear sets, and if one of them can't move, then they won't mesh correctly? Okay, so now we're gonna go up here where we install it. Was this one. So, okay, so we did that one. This one goes on. See you, Joel. We'll be joining the stream tomorrow, going to the ZZ Top concert. Awesome. Okay, so that is out. That's fine. Install the shaft with the out mark. If the shaft does not seat completely, please follow these steps. Loosen those. Okay. I didn't know about splitting two parts always. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to reprint that. I'm not 100% clear on why it's set up this way. Okay, so this goes here. This goes in here. Question is, so that does seat completely right off the bat. But if this is able to move separate from the shaft, what is the point of that? Is that supposed to be a tighter fit? I don't understand. Not okay for it to be out. It's okay for it to be right across the center. And this is right across the center. So I think we're okay. The cover goes on. And we put a bunch in 3x12s on here. So where's the cover? Here's the cover. I'm really puzzled as to what is the point of this whole shaft if these are different, unless this is supposed to be a better friction fit than that. Oop, what happened? That goes in just fine. By 12s. All of these are by 12s. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll have to grab a new thing of grease. Thank you, Tuxedo. I was too focused on what was going on there. Let's push that out. Get every little bit of this. Okay, I feel like I've fully utilized that tube. Well, it's load balancing, but the problem is that this gear here is not fixed to the shaft. So it can spin. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, that is a different grease. Let me see if I can find another. I think they've changed greases over the years. Let me grab another one. I don't want to mix them. If I can avoid it. Oop, that's different also. I might not be able to avoid it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to avoid it. Unless one of these is... Nope, that's also the clear stuff. Yep, it's all the clear stuff. Okay, well, it is what it is. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know what Prusa has changed over the years. But we will use it. Where did I put my glasses? Where did I put my glasses? Wow, that was an awful place to put them. This seems like this could use some more. I think the other gear grabbed the most of it off of the back one there. First one I put in. Okay. Hey, Wojaki. Hi, howdy, and bye. Okay, let's get these. This is a really cool looking assembly though. Say how long we're going to have an exam tomorrow. Most likely I already passed it. You already passed the exam tomorrow? Good job. Okay. I'm still puzzled by that. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like it should be tighter. But yeah, this is fantastic. Okay. So then 86 is where we were, right? 86, there we go. We got one of these and 2 bearings. Times at 123, I don't think there's much to this rear diff, so I think we can probably get through the rear diff. So this guy goes on here, probably. Yep. And then, oh, we have 4 more. 4 more M2 by 25s. You know what? I think we're gonna call it here because I'm gonna order more of these, and I don't really want to cut some screws just to get an extra half a step forward in the build. Since we're at 3.5 hours already, I think we're gonna call it right here, having finished the front transmission and differential and assembled the rear differential. This will end up going down in here. This will go here type thing. And then the output shaft. Yeah, that's what that'll all look like. But I'm going to order some 25mm M2s since I missed those, and that will cover the rest of the build. I'll order some extra 30mm also because we've ran into more of them that had bad drives that stripped than I am comfortable with. Let's see if that'll go down in there. Yep, there it goes. But cutting more might result in you running out. Exactly. I'm on the edge. I would be okay if I did these, but I'm on the edge of having extras. So it doesn't really gain us anything significant by continuing and cutting screws to get the next couple of steps down. I'll hold these in here. There we go. Do that, and then that will hold all those pieces together. I can set it in my bin. But yeah, that is our rear differential. That's so cool. But this, I'm super pleased. A little puzzled with this piece. I feel like I'm missing something. Maybe I will send a message to the designer, see what they think. But yeah, I am super pleased with how this has come out so far. Everything is good. But I am not nearly as far as I expected to be today. That's okay. I obviously had no concept no real concept of what this would take. But that's okay. Let's see, what else? The TPU air tires. I'll have all of these printed by next time. One of them sitting done on the build plate right now. This is going here. That spins in there, but when this is done, there's a screw that goes through here, and that's the locking point for in there, the head of the screw. Does the thing. So anyway, thank you everyone. Thanks for being members. Like I said, I don't know. I may try to fit 2 of these in July. It depends on what is going on. I know my July is a little compressed with things I'm going to end up doing, but yeah. Back on the Vertigo build tomorrow. I expect to make good electronics progress. I don't expect to go 6 hours like last week, but we'll see. So, build some for now, build some for later. Anyway, thank you again. Appreciate you all. We will hopefully see you tomorrow, and stay tuned for the next part in this series. I'd really like to do 2 of them in July. So, take care, everyone. Enjoy the build. Bye.